This is the brand new Honda Civic Type R. It's the 6th generation Civic Type R and it's shaping up to be the best one ever. In this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it, because I'm Matt Watson and you're watching CarWow.
Buy, sell,
CarWow.
You normally have to wait a few years for Honda to build a Type R version after a new Civic comes out, but not this time. The latest Civic has only just gone on sale, but Honda has already cranked out a Type R version to mark the 50th anniversary of the very first Civic. 2022 is also the 30th birthday of the very first Type R road car, the NSX Type R. And it's 25 years since the first Civic Type R appeared in 1997. And Honda wasn't going to miss a chance to celebrate, was it? Back in the day, the Honda Civic Type R used to look pretty tame. The first Type R, the EK9 for all you Honda nerds, looked like a normal Civic with some nice wheels and a small rear spoiler. It was the same story for the EP3 that came after it. It had some new wheels and chunkier side skirts, but it still looked like a bread van. Honda must have thought the FN2 that came next looked futuristic enough though, because it barely changed anything when it made a Type R model. Thankfully, the Type R got a bit more extreme when Honda revealed the FK2 in 2015. That car was covered in splitters, wings and vents. It looked like Sonic the Hedgehog with wheels. This craziness carried on with the outgoing FK8 model too. That had an equally gigantic rear wing and a bonnet scoop big enough to serve ice cream to the BFG. So what about the new car? Well, Honda has dialed back the boy racer vibes just a little bit. For starters, there's no more bonnet scoop. Boo. All you get is a small vent that helps hot air escape from the engine bay. There aren't any fake vents on the front bumper either, which is good. Everything is real this time. The rear spoiler is still much bigger than anything you get on an Audi S3 or Mercedes AMG A35 though, but it sits on shorter metal struts instead of huge vertical end plates like on the old model. Honda has kept the cool Ferrari-inspired triple exhaust system though, and the rear diffuser looks pretty similar to what you got on the old Type R. That car's fake black vents have been replaced by a much smoother looking rear bumper. And there's another key difference down the sides. The new car gets a set of black side skirts like the old Type R, but the stuck-on wheel arch extensions have gone. Instead you get flared wheel arches that have been neatly smoothed into the bodywork. The vent behind the front wheel is actually functional on this new model as well. Now it cleans up the airflow coming out the wheel arch to reduce drag down the side of the car. All these things combine to make the new Type R a lot more mature looking than the old car. It's like someone in their 20s who's decided to get their embarrassing teenage tattoos blended into a grown-up sleeve design. It still stands out, but you won't be ashamed to show it off to strangers. But what do you reckon? Do you like this new model, or should Honda have made the new Type R look even madder than the last one? Put a pinned comment below this video, vote in it to let me know. The brand new Civic Type R uses the same 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine as the old model. Well, almost. Honda's upgraded the turbo with a smaller housing and new turbine blades to help it make more boost. How much more boost? Well, Honda won't say. It has said that the new car will have more power and torque than any other Civic Type R ever. So that means it'll have more than 320 horsepower and 400 Nm of torque. That'll mean the new Type R will be more powerful than a Volkswagen Golf R, an Audi S3, a BMW M135i or a Mercedes AMG A35. All those produce between 306 horsepower and 320 horsepower. Now if you want to make sure you're kept up to date with all the latest new car news, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on. That way you won't miss a single upload. Now one of the best things about the old Civic Type R was that it had a manual gearbox and that it was kept lighter than some of its rivals by retaining front-wheel drive rather than going all-wheel drive. So it's a good thing that Honda has kept both of these things for the new model. You get a 6-speed manual gearbox just like the old car with a titanium shift knob. Now I'll tell you more about the rest of the interior in a bit, because you need to know that Honda has also fitted stronger shift linkages to the gearbox and tweaked the H pattern ever so slightly for the new Type R. I'm not sure exactly why they've done this. The gearbox was pretty much perfection as it was. Anyhow, it's also retuned the auto rev matching feature to improve the car's balance when you shift down. Once again, never noticed any problems with this. Hopefully they haven't gone and meddled with it and actually made it worse. Now, if you want to find out more about the Civic Type R, click on the pop-out banner in the top right-hand corner of the screen or follow the link in the description below. Watch my review of a special limited edition Type R. Now you'll see exactly what this new model has to beat. While being front-wheel drive rather than all-wheel drive and having a manual gearbox instead of a dual-clutch auto helps keep the weight down, it did make the Civic Type R a little bit tricky to launch. For example, the old model was supposed to do 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds, but this is how quick I managed to go with an almost perfect launch.
oh yes, 5.89.
Now, a four-wheel drive Volkswagen Golf R with an automatic gearbox is supposed to do 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, but this is how fast I managed to launch one of those.
4.03.
Yep, that's a Golf doing 0 to 60 miles an hour in almost 4 seconds flat. So what does that mean for the new Type R? Well, Honda hasn't actually confirmed any official 0 to 60 mile an hour times yet. Now come on Honda, why are you teasing us with these numbers? It has said though that the new Type R will have a better power to weight ratio than the old model, so this should mean that it's a bit quicker. I'll predict that they'll quote a 0 to 60 time around 5.5 seconds, but whether you can get close to that in reality is another matter. Also, while it's quick, it's still a second slower than a Golf R can do. However, you don't buy a Honda Civic Type R to do launches and drag race though, do you? Well, unless your name's Matt Watson and you work for Carwow. You buy one because they're absolutely brilliant to drive on track. And this new model looks set to be the best yet. Honda's tweaked the two-piece brake disc and Brembo calipers, and it's revamped the car's cooling system specifically for heavy track use. It's also got rid of the last Type R's 20-inch alloy wheels and fitted some lighter 19-inch rims with sticky Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres as standard. So what difference will these upgrades make on track? Well, Honda's already used a pre-production Civic Type R to break a lap record for front-wheel drive cars at the Suzuka racetrack in Japan. It did a lap in 2 minutes and 23 seconds. That's a second quicker than the old Civic Type R limited edition. The most impressive thing about this time is that the limited edition was a stripped-out version of the standard Type R. It was so track-focused, it didn't even have a radio. You can also bet that Honda will take on the Nürburgring front-wheel drive lap record with this new Type R as well. To do this, it'll need to be quicker than the Renault Megane RS Trophy R, which set a lap record of 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Although that was another stripped out track car, it didn't even have any back seats. And come on, we all need back seats really in a hot hatch. Speaking of which, if you want to see which is the current best hot hatch you can buy, click on the pop out banner in the top right hand corner of the screen or follow the link in the description below to watch my hot hatch track battle between a Honda Civic Type R, a Toyota GR Yaris and a Mercedes AMG A35. Let's move on to the interior of the new Civic Type R. The car will get the same infotainment system from the standard Civic, but it will have some new graphics to complement the Type R's upgraded driving modes. There are plenty of other features you can't get in a normal Civic 2. For example, the bright red sport seats are exclusive to the Type R, and they've been specifically designed to grip you tightly in corners. There's a slightly different steering wheel with flashy red stitching, and of course, there's a shiny titanium gear knob. A new feature for this Type R though are the bright red carpets. They look great, but maybe they'll be a bit hard to keep clean. Another new upgrade for the latest Type R is an improved data logging system called Honda Log R. This lets you monitor a load of inputs from the car's onboard sensors using your smartphone. It has a built-in stopwatch, a tyre load monitor, and it can give you tips to help improve your lap times. Another new feature for this Type R is the individual driving mode. This lets you pick your favourite engine and suspension settings from the car's Comfort, Sport and Plus R modes and combine them in any way you like, much like you can in a Hyundai i30N. For example, you could add the engine in Plus R mode and the suspension in Comfort, ideal for bumpy British back roads. Or you could have the tamest engine setting with the stiffest suspension if you're completely mad. No one's going to do that. Anyhow, let's move on to the price. The new Honda Civic Type R will go on sale in Europe early 2023. Now, Honda hasn't said how much it'll cost, but you can get a pretty good idea by looking at the price of the old Type R. Now, you can get an entry-level model of that for around £33,000. However, there's likely to be a markup for the latest generation model, so I expect it'll start from at least £35,000. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you click on those windows there, you can watch some more videos. And if you click on that box there, you can go to CarWow to see how much money you can save on your next car. Thanks for watching.